Assembly. Hello. Southwest Florida Realtor. Lisa, come on, Realtor. Hi. Destiny. Jasmine Shorter, I love you so much too, boo. Leslie from Long Beach. Jill Williams Experience. Hi. Mobile, Alabama. We got the Alabamas in the career. Okay, yes. All right. Brenda from Michigan. What up, doe? All right. Julie, Jay from Houston. Okay. Hi. Bridget from Memphis in the building. Kevin from Orange County. I love the OC, Kevin. Tremaine from Atlanta. We got Sheila in Richmond. Nina from North Carolina. Sister from North Carolina. Sabrina from Maryland. Dallas in the building. Okay. All right. Oh, wait. Cheryl from the Shay from the Bahamas. We got Charlene from South Africa. I need my readers. Hold on. I'm not emoji, child. I got my readers. I wear readers. Child, my readers now, honey. Kimberly. Yes, we're live, Kimberly, baby. Gina from Cleveland. Lois Cobb, Detroit in the building. Love you too, Nina Terrell. All right. Katie from Cincinnati. Melanin Dialogue from Baltimore. Okay. We got South Africa in the building, the UK, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Brooklyn, Carmos from the BX. Sheila Smith, you never caught a live? Well, honey, welcome to the live show. We get down and dirty on these lives. Okay. So, hold on one second. Let me get my stuff together. Okay. We're going to talk. Precious from Alabama. Hey, Sandy from Athens. I love a good old roll call. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to my live. I'm so happy you guys. Hey, Daphne, finally caught a live from South. Welcome, Daphne, baby. It's Gina's first live, too. Aneem said, can you help reboot Jocelyn's Cabaret because she needs it? Y'all are trying. Anyway. Wait, Destiny, I finally caught, because Royce gave me cringe. Okay, we're going to talk about the interview. Okay, let's get right into it. First of all, happy Thursday. It's been a wild week. A lot has been going on. A lot is going on. I was out of town for a few days on set, and I wish I can tell y'all what show we're filming right now. I can't say anything. What I will say, as I get my screen together, what I will say is y'all are in for an amazing season. Don't tell nobody I told y'all that because I ain't trying to get in trouble. But I was on set for a few days, and baby, a lot is going on. That's all I'm gonna say. Give you a hint. I feel like there's no hint. If I give you the hint, I'll give everything away. What network is it on? If I say that, you'll know. All I'm gonna say is I was in town for a few days, and you guys are in for a fantastic season. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. What I will say though is before I get into the Royce Reed interview, Bel Collective comes back tomorrow. The second half of the season of Bel Collective comes back tomorrow, okay, at 9 o'clock a Central on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Amazing, amazing rest of the season in addition to a reunion. That's all I'm gonna say. It's good, it's good, it's good. Lois Cobb, I can't spell it because I don't want to get in trouble, child. Is it a new show? I'll say this. The show I'm talking about is not a new show. My dog is calling me. Hold on. Godiva was calling my name. Say hi, Godiva, to the raindrops. Say hi, Godiva, to the raindrops. Say hi. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So let's get into the Royce interview. Okay. So I want y'all to understand how I was able to score the Royce Reed interview. As you all know, Royce Reed does not do interviews. She doesn't. She does not do interviews. And the Raindrops have been requesting Royce for a very long time. And the way that I operate, as you all know, is I have to do interviews with intention. Like, am I going to get something out of it? Are they going to get something out of it? You know, I do everything with intention. So I reached out to Royce to see if she would be interested in coming on my podcast. And she said yes. And I was like, I love Royce. I've always loved Royce because I'm a huge Basketball Wives fan. So I flew to Florida to film the interview. And what you guys did not see is before the interview started, Royce was already emotional. Like the cameras weren't rolling. I was still setting up the interview, the cameras, all of that, right? The cameras we weren't rolling. So Royce comes in and she's already crying. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, are you nervous? What's happening? And she was like, there's a lot going on that you don't know about. Like, I'm dealing with something every single day, Carlos. Like, I'm always dealing with something, but I'm here and I drove all the way to see you and we're gonna do this. And I said, okay. But I just remember feeling like this woman is still going through a lot. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring that up. She is still going through a lot. Still. She walked into the interview crying because she still is going through a lot in her life. And I'll leave it at that. It's her story to tell. And she'll tell more about it in part 2 that airs next Tuesday. So, first of all, Royce has not aged a bit. Royce is fine. And she got body. Like, Royce literally looked like she stepped out of season 2 of Basketball Wives and time warped herself into 2023. Royce looks exactly the same. Exactly. Like the same. Beautiful in person. Like beautiful, petite, but like not muscular like that, but like toned. That's a word. That's a proper word to use. She's toned. Like Royce in that denim, baby, honey, was giving body. She hasn't aged a bit. Royce looks the same. So all I remember thinking to myself was, I don't know much about you, Royce, and I just want to be present and have a conversation. And Royce did not come to the interview. A lot of uh, actually nobody comes to my interviews with like rules, but Royce came in and was like, "Let's talk about it," and we did. Now, when Royce was talking to me, I'd expect her to reveal that she allegedly, when Royce and I were talking, I did not expect for her to allegedly reveal that she developed Basketball Wives. I had no idea she helped develop Basketball Wives allegedly. I didn't know that. When she broke down that I was in the pitch meetings and I was developing the show with the executive and how Shawnee allegedly was not nowhere to be found, it was the gag of the gags. It was a whole gag, an entire gag, an entire gag. And then one thing about Royce says she has a lot of receipts. And Royce says that she has documents with dates and everything. So according to Royce helped develop Basketball Wives. And then y'all want me to interview Shawnee, apparently. I don't know what to do, child. Listen, I let people talk and I listen and I air it. That's all I do. That's all I do. So that gagged me. That gagged me loudly. Okay. Um, and then when she revealed how Shaq allegedly was like talking to her, making a move, trying to make a move, you know. Misha Bell said, let Andy Cohen interview Shawnee, child. Kevin Ackerman says, Shawnee won't spill tea. We don't want her. Emma Patton said, can you talk to Evelyn? People need to see her in a different light. So let me know if y'all want me to talk to Shawnee. Do y'all want to hear from Shawnee O'Neal? I don't know. I asked y'all about Yandy weeks ago. Y'all told me no Yandy. So let me know if you guys want me to talk to Shawnee. No, nope, no, absolutely not. Nope, like no, hell no, we don't. Only okay, Yo said yes. I don't let me just lotion up my body, child. Y'all are so Okay. Well, there goes your answer. So y'all don't want me to talk to Shawnee. Okay, fine. Moving on. So then oh my gosh. Y'all T. Rogers said Chrissy from Love and Hip Hop. Okay. I like Chrissy, by the way. That's actually a good one. Look. Let me write this down. Okay, we'll get to that later. Y'all know at the end, I asked y'all who y'all want me to talk to. So back to Royce. Y'all are so shady. Y'all don't want me to talk to nobody. Y'all ain't feeling. Okay, fine. Sorry, Shawnee. They said no, sis. Okay. So when Royce talked about how Shaq allegedly was trying to like, I want to say the wrong thing, how he was allegedly having conversations that alluded to like wanting to get to know her on a whole different level and how he just wanted, okay, there you go. Show and tell. So allegedly, Shaq wanted possibly, allegedly, Royce's stacks. So Shaq wanted the stack, allegedly, of Royce. Allegedly. Okay. So that's what's happening, child. And then she said she told Shawnee about it, allegedly, and how she thought that her and Shawnee had the conversation and that it wasn't going to go anywhere. And then Roy said all of a sudden it became a storyline that was brought up in scene. And I think she said it never made air. So that was a whole nother thing. So the neighborhood talk, hi Kyle Anthony. Kyle owns Neighborhood Talk. He's a raindrop too. And the neighborhood talks are neighbors. So I'm a neighbor and he is a raindrop. Hey Kyle. So Kyle and his team posted my interview with Royce in that particular conversation where she mentioned Shaq. Bitch, I didn't know Shaq be on the gram. Now, I heard that allegedly he be in the DMs on the gram. Hey, Brittany Rayner, allegedly. Okay. This is a shady lie. Okay. So Shaq allegedly be on the gram, allegedly. Well, allegedly he's not on the gram. Hey Sheridan, I love you. Shaq be on the gram, allegedly in DMs. Hey Home Depot, allegedly. So Shaq commented on my interview with Royce, Shaquille O'Neal. So Shaq stepped into the Neighborhood Talk blog and responded. I don't want to misquote, honey, because you know I am a journalist. Hey, Portia. Hey, Tamar Braxton. Okay, so as a journalist, you have to cite your sources. Okay, I want to make sure that I say exactly what Shaq said. Okay, so he said, here we go. So they posted the clip. Yeah. And Shaq says, even with that, somebody needs money. I'm Bridget, not put your readers on. Okay, fine. Even with that, I realized I couldn't. Shaq said somebody needs money. Now, I want to ask y'all this, Raindrops. Do y'all think Royce was capping? That's what the kids call lying. Do y'all do y'all think Royce was lying when she brought that up about Shaq? I want to hear from y'all. Shaq said, somebody needs money, which to me is alleging that Royce is saying this to get a bag. Everybody said no, Shaq, that Royce ain't. She not lying. Royce did not tell one lie. Nope, nope. We all love Shaq, but we know he loves the lady. She ain't lying on him. Shaq being everybody's DM. Royce has nothing to gain by lying. Royce, drop the receipts. Charge up the phones, Royce. Not charge up the phones, child. Okay. I will say this. As somebody who was sitting directly across from Royce, I too, listen, unless Royce went to the Angela Bassett School of Acting, unless Angela Bassett has a Juilliard degree like Viola Davis, when Royce was talking, I was like, Royce seems very credible to me. And again, allegedly, I'm just saying, allegedly, based on what we saw part one, I was like, color me naive, color me bad. Yes, 80s group, color me bad, color me naive. Royce, I don't, there's certain people who you just don't think will lie. And again, I'm not saying I know Royce, like we went to school together, but all I would say is this: Royce, when she speaks, she sounds very credible to me, based on the part one interview that y'all saw. Part two drops Tuesday. We'll come back, do a live, and talk about that. But the thing about Shaq response, Shaq never said she's lying. Shaq never once said, Cap, she's lying. He never, all he said was she needs money. What does that mean? And Shaq, we love you. I love watching you on TNT, doing the basketball stuff. I like watching you on TNT. I like watching your shows on TBS or the TNT. I like Shaq. We all love Shaq. I love his documentary on HBO Max. Shaq is amazing. But I'm speaking as a journalist. Hey Portia, hey Tamar Braxton. So as a journalist, all I'm saying is if I'm going to respond to something that isn't true, I'm going to not say she needs money. I think I would say, or anybody would say, take me out of it. I think anybody would say, Cap, she lying, bye. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. So one of the other highlights from the Royce interview, I mean, Royce talked about how Shawnee's nobody's friend, how it was difficult to work with Shawnee because she was the executive producer of the show. She would watch the footage and then she would go back and tell people things allegedly, all alleged. She talked about Evelyn and how that fight between her and Evelyn, she was going for the neck, the nose, and the side of the head. I'm from the hood. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I never heard anyone say, when you get into a fight, go for the neck, the neck, the nose, and the side of the head. And Royce is all of 4'2". I love you, Royce. Royce is 5'0". So Royce is tiny. So the fact that this tiny girl can scrap is hilarious to me. When she said go for the neck, nose, and side of the head. But this is the thing about Royce. Royce, the reason why I think we all collectively love Royce is because Royce is never scared. Royce was never scared of any of those girls. Not one time. Not one time. To be that petite and to be ostracized, Royce never, ever came across like she was some punk or she was weak or intimidated. And a part of me, just me, and I love the show, and y'all all know I love the girls. I love the girls. And this is nothing against the girls. A part of me always thought, watching Basketball Wives, the earlier seasons, I always felt that some of the cast, I'm not going to name names, I did feel like some of the cast felt that Royce was not on their level and they treated her as such. My opinion. And they couldn't take Royce because Royce constantly defended herself, and Royce was the people's champ. We, as the audience, we loved Royce. And Royce, to me, represents the underdog. Royce is an underdog. And when you are the underdog in any situation, you have to fight for a position and fight for your respect, or people are going to trample and run all over you. And I like the fact that she never once allowed any of her castmates to do that. She constantly stood up for herself. And that leads me into who she is right now. Royce is constantly defending herself. And towards the end of the interview, when she speaks about her child's father and the whole situation about the birth certificate and not wanting the last name and all those things. And then in my teaser, she talks about she's always been afraid to tell her story. Now, one thing we always thought or knew was when Royce was on Basketball Wives, she could never mention Dwight Howard's name. We all either knew or assumed that there was a gag order, that Royce had a gag order, and that she was never able to say anything about him. Obviously, his name's in the news for other stuff that I'm not going to touch. Not this week. I'm teasing. Okay, so anyways, hearing from Royce, who never does an interview, and I think there's something to be said about that. I want people to know this, and I want y'all to know this. I did Roy's interview way before all that stuff was coming out. It wasn't like Roy said, okay, let me hop in. None of that was happening. That never happened. Royce definitely agreed to do that before that even came out. No pun intended. And one of the things that I know about the stuff that Royce was telling me is she always felt like she's been silenced. Royce always. You caught that, Ann Thomas? Okay. Royce always felt that she was being silenced and that she would never be able to tell her story. And it goes back to the intention of me starting this podcast, which is I just want people to be able to tell their story. Right. And Royce did say to me off camera, Royce did say to me how a lot of people wanted to interview her and she turned them down. And the moment I reached out to her, she said, I will talk to you, Carlos, because you make people feel safe enough to tell their story. And she felt that it wasn't going to just be like this messy interview, that we were going to have a real conversation, and that was going to be that. And I'm happy to report that Royce is very happy with the interview. And it's been my pleasure to give her the platform to speak her truth, her mind, and tell her story. And that's the reason why I wanted to do it. I'm happy to do it. Um, it was my pleasure to give her that opportunity because it dawned on me as well that Royce's entire life she's been the underdog. And as a single mom raising a son, a teenage son, and having to deal with what she's dealing with, it dawned on me that not only was she the underdog on Basketball Wives, but she's now the underdog in her adult life in 2023. And there's a lot of stuff that we talk about in part 2 that is going to pull at your heartstrings. And my interview with Royce, I believe, gave her the freedom that she's been searching in order to have somebody interested in her story. Because for a very long time, Royce felt that nobody cared about her. For a very long time, Royce felt that she was forgotten about. So when I reached out to her, Royce was surprised that I was even interested. And I was saying to her, like, bitch, everybody wants me to talk to you. I love you. And she said, people love me. I'm not going to cry. She said, people love me. I said, Royce, they live, bitch. We love you. And she said, I don't see it. I said, you don't? She said, no, look at my followers. And I said, Royce, baby, don't ever dictate your worth by your social media following. I said, that means nothing. I said, I can say to you, people want to hear from you. And based on the amount of views part 1 has already received, you guys have shown up and shown out for Royce and have shown Royce that she's not forgotten and that we're not going to forget about you, Royce, and that this is your comeback story and this is your comeback year. I want to see Royce back on TV. Royce should have been on Basketball Wives Orlando as the OG. Royce should have been on Basketball Wives Orlando as the OG. She lives in Florida. What are we doing? And Royce looks the same age as all those girls on the show. Royce looks like she's in her early 30s. I don't understand. Let me not start. I want Royce back on TV. So anyways, part 2 of my Royce Reed interview drops on Tuesday. November 14th at 9:00 a.m. Eastern. And she gets into it all. All. I'm going to warn you. I'm going to warn you. When you watch part 2 of the Royce Reed interview, have some Kleenex in hand. It is a very emotional conversation. Part 2 is very emotional. Very emotional. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. And my hope for Royce is that she finally has the freedom and the release she's been searching for. So there you have it. All right. So that's Royce. But no, all jokes aside, BayBEE, Royce interview, y'all showed up, showed out. Honey, y'all broke the internet, the numbers. Royce was posted on every single blog. Honey, Royce, if you're watching, I love you. I thank you so much for trusting me to tell your story along with you. And more to come for you, my sweet girl. More to come. This is your season. It's your season to reap what you sow. Come on, gospel. It's I won't sing tonight, but it's your season to reap what you sow. Okay. So, anyways, no, thank you, Chop Chop. So we definitely y'all are messy in the comments. I see something about no. Anyways, so Royce is next Tuesday, and then okay. So I have a couple of interviews coming up that I think you guys are going to love, and you're going to be surprised. Yes. Okay. So before I go, all right, we have a month and a half before the end of the year. So tell me right now, before the end of the year, let me just say this. I know y'all want me to interview Portia. So I know that. I know that. I know that. I know that. Besides Portia, besides Portia, who do you guys want me to talk to next? Okay, Gavon's sisters, K. Michelle, Tommy, interview Shaq, K. Michelle, Krishan Rock, Susie, K. Michelle, a lot of K. Michelle's, okay. Phaedra, Jamal, not Jamal Bryant, Garcelle, okay. Gloria Gavon, okay. Jamal Bryant, really? Mika Claxton. I interviewed Mariah Huck already. Countess Vaughn, Phaedra Parks. Somebody said Shawnee. Okay. Okay. It's a lot of K. Michelle's. Latavia. Oh, from Destiny's Child. Yes, I love her. Y'all tried it. I'm not gonna. Y'all tried it. Wendy Williams. Okay. Latoya Luckett. Tammy Juan Dick. Oh, bitch, let me tell y'all something. Uba, Evelyn, Spice, Chrissy, Candace, Tommy, Wendy Williams, Spice. Lyrica Anderson, Spice. Okay, Chrissy, Claudia Jordan. I interviewed Claudia already. Alexander Sheen. J. Mitch, you are y'all are so shady and funny. Shady. Malaysia. Okay. Portia, Malaysia, Phaedra, OG, and Drea. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Uh, okay. 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 I got it. Beyonce. Well, of course, darling. All right. So, Roy's Part 2 airs next Tuesday. Tomorrow, Friday, 9 o'clock, 8 Central, an all new season of Bel Collective, our second half of the season. Make sure y'all watch it. Bel Collective, the bells are ringing. And then me and Heavenly are going live again. Me and Dr. Heavenly are going to go live to recap Married to Medicine, in addition to Potomac and some other shows. Okay. So we're going to do that. I think because Heavily obviously runs a business, we may have to start doing those only on Mondays. So every Monday, catch me and Dr. Heavenly. Although I want to do it Sundays at 10 o'clock after Married to Medicine goes off. Okay. We'll talk about Huntsville too. Why? I would love, I would, let me, I love you too, Natasha Sykes. I would love to talk to Juan Dixon. Just saying. All right. I love y'all. Raindrops. Okay. And I will see y'all with Heaven. The next time I see y'all, I'll be with Heavenly. Yeah. So I'll see y'all next time with Dr. Heavenly as we recap Married to Medicine and love it. I love you, Wesley Harrison. Thank you, guys. I'll see y'all in a couple of days. Bye.